Picture this. You're the most spectacularly average guy on the planet, but somehow you're expected to carry the crushing weight of absolute genius. Sounds intense, right? Well, welcome to today's Explainer, where we're diving into a truly cinematic story about a completely normal teenager named you, who takes on exactly that burden. If you've ever felt like you're just falling behind while everyone else around you is sprinting toward greatness, this breakdown is absolutely for you. What we're looking at today is a masterclass in what happens when unrelenting, stubborn effort collides with absolute genius. So our story kicks off at the ultra-prestigious Sika Academy. This place is literally designed to cultivate the absolute best of the best. And our main guy, Yu, well, he's currently getting totally wrecked on the floor of the martial arts dojo. The dramatic irony here is incredibly thick because he is actually the son of the legendary, world-renowned actress Subaru Ayaz. Because of his mom, everyone expects him to be this untouchable genius. But the reality? He is a complete failure academically and athletically. But right as he's hitting rock bottom in that dojo, he crosses paths with the absolute rulers of the school, the three queens. I mean, you have to see this contrast. It's honestly wild. On one hand, you've got you, rocking a staggering 4.2 test score. And yes, to be clear, that is out of 100, folks. He has literally zero combat or artistic skills. Then on the other side, you have the Mikadono sisters. Kazuki is a celebrated national theater star, Miwa is an undefeated shogi grandmaster, and Nico is a national karate champion. They are basically untouchable. And as you might guess, they look at you like he's dirt on their shoes. So how exactly does a guy like this end up living with three teenage millionaires? Well, the girl's incredibly wealthy father, Mr. Mikadono, actually owes a massive debt to Yu's late mother. To repay it, he invites Yu to live with his daughters in their massive, luxurious mansion. But for Yu, this isn't just some free ride. His mother's dying wish was simply for him to, quote, have a happy family. So Yu takes one look at these isolated, hyper-competitive, totally disconnected prodigies and makes a crazy decision. He decides, I am going to forge us into a happy family. Now, here is where it gets really good. Yukai doesn't suddenly awaken some overpowered magical ability to win them over. Nope. He literally weaponizes his mediocrity. He uses his only actual skills. Step 1. Immaculate cleaning. He takes their trashed, messy mansion and turns it into a spotless paradise. Step 2. He intensely studies sports nutrition just so he can cook them these perfectly balanced, delicious meals tailored to their specific athletic and cognitive needs. And step 3. Unrelenting kindness. He greets them every morning, packs them lunches, and acts like a true, fiercely supportive family member. Okay, so this all builds up to a massive turning point at the evening Cherry Blossom Festival. The girls are all doing their own thing, basically ignoring each other, but Yu goes into absolute overdrive. Behind the scenes, he secretly coordinates their schedules, books them hotel rooms, and even rents these incredibly beautiful tailored kimonos so they can actually attend the festival together. He goes so far as throwing himself through an impossible muddy obstacle course, slipping and eating dirt, all just to win access to a photo booth so he can recreate a cherished childhood photo of the three sisters. And this right here is the exact moment everything flips. It hits the girls like a ton of bricks. They realize that this failure, this spectacularly mediocre guy they've been mocking, is the very first person in their entire lives to treat them like normal girls. Not untouchable prodigies, not money-making machines, just normal people. He genuinely just wants to see them smile. But of course, just as they start settling into this nice, warm domestic vibe, boom, in walks their terrifying father, Mr. Mikadono, for a surprise visit. He takes one look at this happy, relaxed environment and is totally disgusted. He drops a massive ultimatum on the spot. The girls must produce immediate, flawless results in their respective fields, or he is kicking Yu, the quote-unquote mediocre slacker, out on the street forever. This massive threat forces the girls to finally band together and officially claim Yu as their essential support system. Part 1. Kazuki's Perfect Date. The fear of failure. So Kazuki is the oldest sister and a massive theater star, but she is absolutely terrified of an upcoming audition for a princess role. Why? Because she's only ever played male roles due to her height and her naturally commanding demeanor. To help her practice, Yu takes her on a romantic amusement park date. The entire goal is for her to practice acting like a delicate princess while Yu plays the dashing leading man. But her princely instincts keep taking over. When water splashes at the aquarium, she instantly jumps in to heroically shield Yu. When a talent agent tries to scout her, she acts like his protective knight. It leads to this hilarious, awkward dynamic where Yu is essentially the damsel in distress. The whole date culminates at the very top of a Ferris wheel. Yu is trying his absolute hardest to play the cool, dashing prince, but he completely loses his composure because the floor is made of glass, and he is terrified of heights. He fails spectacularly at being cool. But actually, scratch that. This brilliantly illustrates his ultimate lesson to her. Failing is okay. He shows her that she doesn't have to be perfect, and that people will actually love her more for her clumsy, genuine defects. She leaves that date feeling totally free and boldly ready to crush her audition.
Moving right along to part 2, Nico's greatest fight, the karate champion.
Now, Nico's big obstacle crashes into her life in the form of Tatsumi. This guy is the absolute best high school karate fighter in the entire country. He suddenly shows up, calls Nico pathetic, and demands she transfer to his elite academy. He tells her point blank she is ruining her potential by staying with her family and relying on others. He gives her a brutal ultimatum to prioritize her raw talent over everything else. Nico is torn, but our hero Yuta steps right up. He physically places himself between them and delivers a formal duel letter to the national champion to protect his new family. I mean, just look at these stakes. They are absolutely insane. You've got you, a completely talentless deadweight with zero, and I mean zero, combat experience, stepping up to face an undefeated national karate machine. It is quite literally a suicide mission. But Yu is smart. He forces Tatsumi into a 2-part match, going in fully knowing he's going to get absolutely crushed in round 1. The bell rings, and it goes exactly how you'd expect. Yu takes a brutal, frankly horrifying beating. But here's the twist. He intentionally takes those hits. He's smiling through the pain with one very specific goal in mind: to tire out Tatsumi's dominant leg. He sacrifices himself just to remind Nico that she doesn't have to fight as this rigid, emotionless machine following everyone else's rules. Seeing Yu make this incredibly brave, yet completely absurd sacrifice, something just clicks for Nico. She steps into the ring for round 2 and does the unthinkable. For the first time in her entire life, she smiles during combat. She completely breaks her own strict, predictable rules, throws out a tricky feint, and exploits Tatsumi's exhausted leg to land the winning kick. She claims victory, officially rejects Tatsumi's academy and his romantic confession, by the way, all because she realizes her heart already belongs to the completely average guy who makes her lunch every single day. And that brings us to our final arc, part 3. The Shogi Queen's match, Miwa's crisis. So Miwa is this undefeated, absolute genius shogi queen, and she suddenly finds herself in a massive championship title match against a highly eccentric rival named Sakura. You really have to look at the dynamic here. Miwa is the undefeated genius who only plays because she desperately wants praise and is terrified of falling behind. Sakura, on the other hand, compares herself to a pawn in shogi. Now, a pawn is the weakest piece on the board, but if it just keeps moving forward, one grueling step at a time, it can cross the board and become incredibly powerful. Sakura is playing with fiery passion to be the hero of her own story. 2. That is the number of consecutive, absolutely crushing defeats our previously undefeated Miwa suffers against Sakura in this best-of-5 title match. Her pristine record is shattered in an instant. The pressure's just too much, and Miwa completely spirals. Completely devastated, Miwa literally runs away out into the pouring rain and hides in a cat cafe. When Yu finally tracks her down, she confesses her darkest secret to him. The burning passion of her opponents completely terrifies her. She feels totally empty inside because she realizes she doesn't even like playing shogi. She's only been playing to meet her father's massive, suffocating expectations. She feels like a total fraud. Now, here is the absolutely crucial point, the so what of this whole story. How does Yu pull her out of this total darkness? With just genuine, raw empathy. He shares his own story. He tells her how he learned to cook through endless, frustrating failures, entirely motivated by just wanting to make his dying mother smile one last time. He calls it a miracle. He shows Miwa that playing a game not out of raw passion for the sport, but simply out of a deep desire to make your family proud and see them smile, is a beautiful and completely valid reason to fight. Reinvigorated by that extreme empathy, Miwa finally finds her resolve. In this really quiet, touching kitchen moment, she secretly decorates a chocolate shaped like you, gives it a quick kiss, and marches right back into the tournament hall. She sits down at the board, but she's no longer a hollow genius playing out of fear. She is a queen, fueled by love, and she is radiating a terrifying new aura of absolute confidence.
Which brings us to an incredible cliffhanger. I want to leave you with this provocative thought to chew on. As Miwa sits down from match 3, fully awakened and fueled by love rather than obligation, can the genius finally overcome the hardworking pawn? And looking at the bigger picture, with Kazuki, Nico, and Miwa all completely captivated by Yu's unrelenting effort, which of these 3 incredible queens will ultimately claim the underdog's heart? Think about that for a bit, and we will see you in the next explainer.